There is a restaurant in Newton, Massachusetts called Buttonwood that makes the best cornbread ever. They serve it as an appetizer, but I usually get it for dessert because a northern cornbread is sweet enough to be a cake. But regardless of what you call it, it's incredible. Light, fluffy, buttery, and delightfully corny. A few years ago, Greg Brodsky, who was the chef at Buttonwood at the time, helped me develop a recipe that comes as close as you can get to the Buttonwood cornbread at home. And here it is. Preheat the oven to 325 degrees if you have a convection fan, or 350 if you don't. Generously butter a 12-inch cast iron pan or a rectangular baking pan that is 9 by 13 by 2. Although you can use any pan material, metal, especially a dark metal, will give you better browning than glass. Cast iron will give you the best possible crust, so if you have it, definitely use it. If your cast iron pan is not as big as mine, you can bake the leftover batter in another pan. I'll show you how far to fill it. Melt a stick of butter and cool it until warm, but not hot. In a large bowl, combine 426 grams of unbleached all-purpose flour, 250 grams of granulated sugar, 125 grams of finely ground cornmeal, 17 grams of salt, and 24 grams of baking powder. Whisk thoroughly. A few words about cornmeal. It varies greatly from brand to brand. I've made this cornbread with Arrowhead mills and with the cheapest yellow cornmeal I could get in my store, and both worked well. So don't worry about it. Use whatever cornmeal you want as long as it's not ground coarsely. Beat 4 eggs until homogeneous. Your eggs can be straight from the fridge or at room temperature because the milk will warm them up in a minute. Whisk in 70 grams of neutral oil like grapeseed or refined sunflower. Warm up 2.5 cups of whole milk to warm room temperature. I microwave it in 20-second intervals until I get it to somewhere between 80 and 90 degrees. The exact temperature is not important. Whisk it into the eggs. Make a well inside the flour mixture and pour in the egg-milk mixture. Gently mix the batter by moving your whisk from the outside to the inside and shaking it off. When the dry ingredients are moistened but still very lumpy, add the butter and mix it in. Make sure to scrape up the sides and give it a final vigorous but short mix. As soon as no more lumps remain, stop mixing. Pour the batter into the prepared pan. If your pan is smaller than mine, you want to fill it about 2/3 full and bake the rest of the batter in another pan. Put a towel or a trivet under your pan so that you don't damage your counter, and give it a tap to get rid of large bubbles. Place in the middle of the oven and bake until a skewer or knife comes out clean. I do it at 325 with convection, and it takes me about 50 minutes, but it will greatly depend on your oven, pan material, and dimensions. As soon as the cornbread is out of the oven, rub it with a tablespoon of butter. Cool for about an hour or until it's just warm but not too hot, and enjoy. If you serve it while still warm, it will be very light and fluffy. Once the cornbread cools off, you'll need to toast it in butter, which I think is even tastier. Set up a skillet over medium heat, add a little butter, and brown the slices on both sides. This makes an amazing breakfast. I know that this recipe is huge, but you can easily cut the bread into portions, wrap tightly in plastic, and use over the next couple of days or freeze them. You can also cut the recipe in half. Since I gave you the weight of all the ingredients, it should be very easy to scale it up or down. Just be careful if your salt and baking powder weights drop below 8 grams. For such small batches, you might want to use teaspoons, since kitchen scales aren't reliable for really small quantities. I even tried frying this batter to make pancakes, and they turned out simply incredible. I hope you give this recipe a try. Here are more very detailed culinary tutorials for you to check out, and if you are ever in the Boston area, I hope you give buttonwood a try.